administrative part of it is not as enjoyable now because the government agencies are in your face like constantly. When they're
Has it grown difficult to build in New York?
Absolutely. Instead of it getting easier, it's gotten more difficult. Just government oversight has become a little unbearable.
Okay.
A little too much. And very expensive.
It adds to cost, red tape. Do you expect things to change with the nature of things?
I don't think there's a choice. It has to change.
For productivity?
It has to change.
Do you expect any rezonings happening in the future?
Oh, yeah.
Which
That's
areas?
One of the good things.
Yeah.
Well, they've already done the Grand Concourse area, the Bronx.
Yeah. Big union jobs.
East New York, I think, has been rezoned, which really needed it. They're going to be.
What was the zoning? What was the zoning for East New York?
Basically residential, but small. But now they've increased the allowable, so they want to. New York is all about building new housing. Okay. And so Long Island City.
Housing shortages, Long Island City. Yeah, that's been
Long Island
okay.
City, I expect parts of it to be rezoned again. So they're working on it, but unfortunately, it goes very slow.
Yeah.
Very slow. By the time that the thought comes, hey, maybe we should rezone this area, and by the time it actually happens, 10 years can go by.
It's an afterthought.
And 10 years is a lot. So that's the only downside, but just at the pace at which the city moves.
What's unique about designing in New York City, in Manhattan, versus?
The main thing about New York City is that you are building in a very congested environment.
Yeah.
Buildings to the left, buildings to the right, and when you build, especially when you're doing new foundations, you have to be very careful of the buildings next door. You're not building in a vacuum. You have to be aware of the surroundings.
Shoring.
A lot of these old buildings were not meant to be moved or disturbed. And once you start digging and you disturb them, they begin to move. When they begin to move, they start to crack.
And then the problems are on the building.
Stories.
I'm sure. Horror stories are abound.
So
yeah.
Because the housing stock here is very old.
Yeah, it is.
So it's very old.
Yeah. It's a good project. Okay. Structural engineering technologies, and yours. Who are you serving in the field? Which?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I myself have. This is my 46th year as a structural engineer here in the city. New York City, born and raised. We do structural engineering, foundation engineering, support of excavation engineering, civil engineering, some environmental engineering. Our offices are in Long Island City, and we're well versed in what goes on here in the city. And we do work for any kind of work, for developers, for architects, for contractors. So,
and you'd be hired to do the foundation of a superstructure, a skyscraper. Let's see over there.
Correct.
And okay, how many engineers do you have working under you?
Right now, our office, we're about 40 people.
Okay.
About 27 or 28 engineers. We have a separate geotechnical staff.
Okay.
That does the support. We do our own soil boring, so we do our own geotechnical.
You have your own geotech. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, because okay. Yeah, very nice. What's the latest project or something to highlight? A project that was worked on.
Well, right now we're doing several 30 and 40-story buildings, but we're also doing renovations to townhouses, to brownstones, to even single-family houses. Let's say for clients that we know. We do it all. Small jobs, big jobs.
And for the students out there, how would you define a civil engineer versus a structural engineer?
Okay. Structural basically deals with building structures like this one, and bridges. A civil engineer deals mostly with roads, site planning, drainage,
Infrastructure.
infrastructure. Correct.
Difference there. Who would hire you?
Larger architecture firms, larger landscape architecture firms. A lot of landscape architects write their own specs, but they really need help for larger projects, and that's where I help them.
And what's an example of a specification or a bridge that you would gap for the landscape architect and the client?
Sure. So one is due diligence on products and materials, whether or not it's the right product for that application. So you can begin with the end in mind and you can save time and fee. Another aspect is to do quality assurance so that we understand what's required for that material and if it's installed correctly or if it's drawn correctly for the contractor.
And you would be hired to serve the client, maybe on behalf of the client, by the architect?
Most of the time I'm hired by the architect, but sometimes I'm also hired by the owner, which I actually like. I like working with owners too.
But I will, I'm sure.
Okay.
It's something interesting.
Okay.
You have a pitch? I would film it. I can post it to my YouTube channel if you want. I don't have to put your face in it. No.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah. Another and another. So in that aspect, we would do something called around the whole structures, and then it's all waterproof. Because there's definitely, if you think you only have one leak, you fix this leak, well now water has traveled. Now you see another one and another one. So depending on how the structure, how many cracks, you may be best off just routing the entire thing.
He works with the stack running off of a PC.
Yep.
And
So
this
you
is
can do a PC, an iPad, tablet, anything like that.
plug it into the Volanti system.
Yep, and then
and
Volanti
run
has
stack.
its own power.
And run stack on the screens, and then
Yeah. I gotta grab the charger.
Tried it. It says 15 heads. It has 30 heads. What kind of heads?
Yeah. Okay.
It's a process.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's do this. We are leaving Friday, so maybe. So right now we have the takeoff and estimate. Our list price all the time is 23. While we're here at the show, we're offering it for 25. So 10% discount. Really depends on the amount of users you have for pricing. But everything we just went through on this one, all of that's included in that price. Your training, your support, upgrades and things to the software, account management, onboarding, all of that's included.
And there's no limit on the quantity of.
Completely unlimited projects. I haven't seen anyone max out, and I've been here 3 years. We've got users that have used our software for 5 plus, 10 plus years.
Any questions?
Yeah. I can scan your badge, and then if you want, send you some more info.
Definitely, I want to see.
Yeah, get
obviously I wanna
together,
see a
try to get you
demo.
on a trial. Yeah. That way, like when we do the demo, we'll be more geared towards like your business, and it'll understand things right now. Right, exactly. Measurements by takeoff, so you can see what's all included, and then item cost by takeoff. So if you attach what we call an assembly, which would be all of your materials together, that's where you would get this material list here, whether it's labor or material. You can build it out into an estimate. So here's the dashboard, and then you'll go in and enter your pricing here on the back end, add in workups, things like that also, material cost, overhead, additional, and then non-measured costs of drawings, lift engineering, stuff like that. We can have it all in there.
Now, can I build myself a template? I want you to look at the plan, all my plans. I want to have my list of 25 items. Look at it, and it goes from plan to plan. That's my template. Every engineer has a different symbol.
Right.
So I can program everyone. Oh, look for this symbol. When I say, okay, look for these 25 items.
We could do that, but it would take some time with like our trainers and things, just setting it up in your account. But once everything's set up, we would smooth sailing just to go in and, like I showed you, point, click, and it'll recognize it. So there will be some work, just to be honest with you, on the front end of making sure that we have what you need and create and import it in there, so like your templates and stuff. But yeah, we should be able to help you.
The OCR is easy for me to do. I'm gonna look for this spelling, look for this word. But also, that's also, I want to look at every plan.
Right.
I look out for that.
We want the images too. Yeah. I can find out more on the back end for you once we're like back in the office and I talk with like our dev team. But yeah, I don't see it being an issue.
You have what's the pricing structure, any trial period or something like that?
Yep, we do have trial periods. Iris, can we sneak in for pricing? Sorry.
They're a little pricey. This would be for your personal use. These are the DJI microphones. These are all wireless, and they have up to 200 feet range. These things are amazing.
what's the price tag?
These ones are about $350.
Okay.
But for as far as audio quality, you could be 10 rows away just recording video.
Nice.
I could be here talking, and it's like as if I was talking this close to you.
Nice. And where would I be able to buy one?
You can buy these directly from DJI.
Okay.
Yeah. They're pretty awesome.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Project manager would have a job box on site. It's protected, steel case,
Yes.
battery underneath.
100%. So right now I'll demo how Stack uses the measuring tool. So if you pull up your PDF, you can zoom in on it a little bit. So if you just grab your finger, you can click on your measuring tool. You set your ratio. So I'll do for every 1/8 inch is 1 foot. Click on your tool and I can just start touching my touch points. And it automatically gives me all the measurements.
Yeah, very nice. And then does that integrate into a takeoff program from Stack?
That would be a stack question.
Okay. And what about a red line or some notes?
Absolutely. So you can do all of your redline markups. You can draw anything you want. If you want to pull up a text box, you can just type it up. You can start typing. It pops up on the display.
It's connected to Stack. How is it?
So
what are the
we
programs that this hardware runs?
So our company, Volanti Displays, we're a display manufacturer. So we design and build everything that you see here. The partnership between Volanti and Stack is for every product that you purchase from us, Stack offers you a 1-year free license of their build and operate side of the business.
Okay. And you display their programs, but you can also open up a DWG.
Yes, you can.
And how would it function here? How would I look at it? Same way I'd be using it as a touchscreen.
You can use it.
Hitting.
Yes, you can use. You can pull up any software program that you want. All of our touchscreens are completely plug and play with Windows 10 and 11.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever software you do choose to use, whether it's Stack, you can use your email, you can browse the web, anything.
And connect a mouse.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. All right. You want to give a demo of how to mark it up?
Yeah, of course. Let me see. Where the touchscreen goes from a 90 all the way to completely flat.
For sites. Okay. How much does this one go for?
This one, everything you see there is $13,000, and then we're running a $2,000 discount on it. This one right here is everything you see there is $11,000. We're running a $1,000 discount. This is what's called the Planner View Desk, and then you have this one right here. That's our Planner View Job Box. So you get the Job Box, the 55-inch 4K touchscreen, computer, battery backup, printer, keyboard, mouse, webcam, soundbar, Apple TV, Chromecast. You get everything. $17,000 out the door. We're running a $3,000 discount.
That's a flagship. Okay.
And then that one right there, that is our 43-inch tabletop unit. That one is $5,000, and we're running a $500 discount as well. I can just telemetry backup, 55-inch 4K touchscreen, webcam, soundbar, keyboard, mouse, Apple TV, Google Chromecast. That way, how much is the mortgage? The mortgage. Everything you see here is $17,000, and we're running a $3,000 discount. $17,000.
And do you have other deal packages, or it's just
you can outfit it with whatever you want, anything you want.
So make sure you zap.
And what are the features of the touch screen?
The features of the touchscreen is that you're able to zoom in and look at the clarity, right? So,
yeah. I used to go to a job site early on with a small iPad, and it was a little bit of a trouble to go with the AutoCAD. So how does this improve on that interface between an app with an iPad, a tablet that runs an AutoCAD app, and versus this integrated
this integrated
screen
system and the monitor, basically in your office, gives you that whole flexibility. You're there. You're not putting stress on your vision. You're looking at the clarity of the product.
And I can bring it to the site.
Bring it to the site. Well, we have mobile ones.
There's mobile ones. This is a desktop version.
This is a desktop. This is what we call a tabletop.
Does it connect to your PC or Apple?
Exactly. It connects to. So if you wanted to connect an Apple, you use a third-party accessory for the touch. But basically, Windows 10, Windows 11.
And how does it open? What sort of files?
It runs on any program you have.
DWGs you open up,
DWGs,
and then you can
Procore, Bluebeam,
and
any program.
Okay. And what sort of drawing markup manipulation tools are there in that bar on the side?
So this is a program called Stack. So Stack has a different variety of functions.
Such as?
So it allows you to do measurements. It allows you to do take-ups, markups.
What sort of markups? Redlining.
Notes. Exactly.
And how do those notes interface with?
So those are all questions with the software. We're not a software company. We're more on the hardware.
The screen hardware. And the software was
The software is company Stack.
Stack.
So all the technical details as far as their software and the development, you can get more details from them. But we're more on the hardware. We're promoting their software, what the capabilities are, what it can do, what it's capable of.
And on-site screens with on-site touch screens with file capabilities that go from the PC. And then
they're plug and play. Yeah.
Plug and play.
They're plug and play. Basically, you can connect any particular PC.
Plan review.
There's a plan review table. There's a 43-inch. We do the full touchscreen monitors. They're fully assembled in California. They're industrial grade. We have they're robust. They're 3 mil. Dust free. This is a charger, wireless charger. We also have wireless charger.
Pylon signs for local strip malls. Anchor.
So basically, you would just attach your skid steel column to something like this. You know, this plate would be anchored into your structure multiple times with those fastening points. We would cleanly waterproof right over the top of our plate and then attach to whatever spread you need.
Okay. Post and the lintel.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So there's no over the hole. It's now a waterproof threaded port. So now we give you the ability to fasten down 6 times for that one connection. So we had tremendous strength. We give you the ability to cleanly waterproof over. All of our products come with a rubber gasket seal for when you're waterproofing, so nothing gets inside. And when you're ready to attach, you pop it out and you're ready to connect. So I'll show you here. This is our whole patented system. Also has the slots in the post as well for you to feed your cable wires through. This is just a demo. We make these 48 inches. We do mahogany, EK, pressure treated steel as well. All the same system. So this is our bracket here. This is Siplast, waterproofed over. All that's showing is that attachment point. You install our threaded rod. Tighten it too much. There we go. So this is our waterproof threaded port. Water can get in there as much as you want, never gonna leak. So you install our threaded rod. Yeah, and it's great too, because sometimes they have to change out the posts. All you have to do is take off your nut and washer. So they all come counterboard out. Board all the way through. Now you install our post, put a washer, and a nut. My fingers. Now it's as simple as that. Not going anywhere.
What sort of applications?
Post applications, we do everything on the exterior end. Okay. So. Give me a scan as well. Yes, of course. So it doesn't matter what the membrane is, it could be copper, rubber, it doesn't matter. So all of our products, waterproof threaded port. So this gets installed. You put your membrane over, and now you create the perfect sandwich seal. They all have a caulk groove as well. So you are encapsulated into the structure. It forms a perfect gasket seal. And you are also sandwiching the membrane as well. Now you have the perfect sandwich seal, and you are ready to attach your L-foot for your solar. We made this one recently for a floodproofing company. So same kind of thing, this thing gets dropped into the epoxy, and now you attach whatever it is you need right into our waterproof threaded port. We had tremendous strength to any application. Yeah, of course.
Hey there.
Hey.
So this is a project management tool?
So takeoff estimating. Kind of right here, what we're looking at right now is like if if we were doing a plan set for plumbing, what I have are a couple different options for the type of measurement you would like to do. So you have area, counts, linear, things like that. With this one, we're doing a linear measurement with a drop. Going in, that way we can count and see like the piping and things like that. So these are what your measurements would look like from there. Then we can actually go over to the reports tab and see your quantity based off of what we measured. And then the item cost for those materials. So that would be like your material list there. And then we have a way
And there,
to...
your unit costs, your takeoffs, and at the bottom, is there a spreadsheet that can print out? Okay.
So right here would be your spreadsheet. You can export right into Excel, CSV file, or project calculator. If we're looking to add in like our own pricing and things, we can come here.
And worksheet by name.
Yep, by name, and then
Labor
you'll
costs.
have your waste, add in all your costs, adjusted quantity, extended costs, line markups, material, non-measured, things like that.
And how is this parametrically attached to scheduling? Is it?
We don't have scheduling within our software, but it is something that we could have an integration with, because we have these different ways of like downloading the proposal and things like that, but then we can share an invite onto this plan also. Yeah, that's kind of a quick overview. I'll show you the proposal also to give you a better idea what that looks like.
Once the markup is done, it goes directly to proposal seamlessly. And that goes to a client, client's name at the top, company name.
And then here's the materials,
breakdown,
quantity,
transparency.
You got it.
Clean, seamless.
All right there. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
ProPress is Viega's.
I'm not sure exactly. So you can't do that with polyethylene. Then you might start getting the product might start to spaghetti and loop on you.
The one that was
get
outlawed.
leaching.
The one that was outlawed in the U.S. Polyethylene.
Well, no, that was outlawed because of the fittings desincifying and failing and destroying people's homes.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
What did Europe do to avert that? Or what did other
used
markets do?
fittings.
They changed the material of the fitting, or
They
what was?
also tested the water to make sure that it was hard and had a lot of
Salt.
impurities in it to create desincification.
Okay.
So PEX is polyethylene that's been cross-linked. Essentially polyethylene tubing you use for like water services on residences or single-family homes. They've taken that and they've taken the molecules and peeled them apart, and then they just restack them together so that they're like lined up in nice little neat little soldiers, sort of like my row of beads here, right? So it's nice and
molecules.
neat and in order. And what does that do? When you do that to the polyethylene, it creates memory and strength. All right. So when you have that memory and strength, it does a lot of things. I can pull this like wire now. I don't need a lot of fittings. So you reduce the equivalent length and the pressure rating, right? So you don't need to calculate for as much pressure drop because you don't have as many fittings. All right.
Okay.
That's a whole design consideration behind it. The different types of PEX, I would say that break down into 3 different categories: A, B, C. A being a peroxide or Engel method, B being a wet bath or a silane method, and then the C type is basically a microwave, or what they call electron beam. And essentially all 3 of those are straighten those molecules out like the beads here, like we were talking about.
In the petroleum product.
Correct.
And they're not toxic.
It's not toxic because it's high density polyethylene, and it's been cross-linked, which makes it stronger and more resilient to that temperature range, right? So PEX can be rated up to 140 degrees at 100 psi, 80 psi. I gotta look back at the print line. It started in 1899 at Hamburg, Germany, and they started making brass beer taps, brass products, heating products. Turn of the century, plumbing became more of a thing inside the home, inside of buildings, so they started making plumbing products. In the 1980s, they came across the press fitting and they pioneered it. It became really popular in Europe. Right now, actually, in Europe, it's like 85% press, and the rest is traditional methods. In the United States, it's around 30% press. In 1999, they brought the technology here.
Was it PEX?
It was PEX at first. They had a company called Statler.
Okay.
And our backbone here in the United States with Viega at that point would be PEX. In 99, though, is when they brought that copper pro press over.
Okay.
And they teamed up with Rigid. If you look at actually... If you look at Rigid's jaws that they produce, this is clearly a Rigid jaw. and it has Pro Press on it, right? So
Pro Press.
it's kind of a point of pride, I would say, that you have a tooling manufacturer calling out the fittings that should be used on their, because this is a trade name for Viga.
Okay.
Right? Viga's better, I would say, in the fact that they've been around for 125 years. There's a couple of manufacturers that are, but namely, why German? German because we're one of the only ISO 9001 manufacturing facilities for plumbing and heating products.
Okay.
That's important to understand because when you get one of our products, you're going to get the same thing every single time. It's not going to have like a slight tolerance in it.
Sure.
Which can become problematic in the field. If it's got a tighter tolerance, now you're trying to bang fittings under the end of a piece of tubing. And you might roll that ceiling element.
Can you describe what ISO 90 is?
ISO 9001 manufacturing means that we're super precise. That the manufacturing that goes on in our facilities is measured at a very, very, very small measurement.
Okay. The metric is fine.
In layman's terms.
Fine metric, yep.
There's a lot, it's an oversimplification, I would say, but in layman's terms, essentially what it is. Why is that good? How does it benefit you? It benefits you because you're going to get a consistent product every single time.
Okay.
In addition to that, we did hold a patent on our unpressed connection fitting detection system. So what we've done is we've notched the copper on the inside of the fitting under the sealing element. And what that does is displace water or air if it's not pressed. Essentially, it will drip or hiss air so you can detect it between half and 85 pounds of pressure. Yes, I would just. Right,
And that's an innovation. That's a patent. And there's a patent on that innovation.
Well, there
on the
was.
design.
Has expired since, but it's been third party proven that it works 100% of the time.
Wow. Yeah.
So that is, I'd say, the main reason why you should go with Viga.
All
It's a peace of
maintenance
mind.
departments will appreciate that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I would say the last thing that makes Viga better is that the people that work here. So I'm an ex-plumber. He's an ex-engineer. He's an ex-distribution expert. Everybody that works here is usually going to be in that type of firm.
In the industry, yeah.
Or they're going to be some type of scientific expert. Right? They may not be a plumber or a mechanical person, but they have a degree in engineering or something. So in addition to having a great product, the people that they hire are also excellent.
Nice. Thanks a lot, yeah. Okay.
So first of all, we're a company since 1899. The first thing that we made were
Want me to
brass.
film you? Is that
Sure.
okay?
And I don't have a pipe vise, so I can show this to you right now. But if there is a catastrophic failure and this bends over, it's not going to fail right away. You're going to have time to evacuate the building if you have to, or get people out by the end of the day and then make the repair at the end of the day instead of costing man hours during the day.
Because of the extra rigidity, the extra tubing.
Correct. Catastrophic failures are mitigated by like 9 or 10-fold.
For seismic events
Even
or wind.
seismic events, it'll hold up even well. I'm talking about catastrophic failure point where this gets bent over.
What would cause it to get bent over?
People running into it. I've run into situations where I've been on inspections where they came in, called me to warranty a fitting, and I would go out and see that, like, say, a loading bay, fire suppression line got kinked over by a forklift.
Right.
And I would go and look at it. Yeah, it's not under warranty. It's been kinked. It needs to be replaced. It's not failing right now, but replace it when you can. So if you look at this burst test brush that we did, you see that the tubing failed before the fitting did. Now I do have brass fittings on there, and they're going to be the same nominal thickness, wall thickness, because it's ID, right? It's ID copper. So the same ID here. So the wall thickness of the brass is the same, it's just a different material.
It's not.
But the same thing would apply here if I did the same test, right? This is going to be stronger than the tubing. That's the whole point of making the system. Press fitting, right? So it's going to be heavier than Type K copper, and it's done so on purpose. So if you look at the manufacturing standard on press fittings, you're going to go ahead and put a tool on this that's going to exert 32 kilonewtons of force. So you need that extra copper on there in order for you to make that press joint. Right. So I'm just going to press it dry for you, so you can see that there's a lot of pressure being put on that. So by manufacturing standard alone, it needs to be thicker than K. Why is that important? It's the thickest part of the system now because it's thicker than the tubing you're putting it on, right? So, where's the burst? It does it automatically. You put up to 50,000 presses with this before you need to recalibrate it. And it'll let you know. It'll keep chirping and yelling at you to recalibrate.
I love it, man.
You do this exactly with the same when we do with our metal system as well. And it also includes the press and nail for steel.
Sweet. I gotta get this in front of my students.
Sure, anytime. Thank you. Very quick. I don't know once I've done that, I've made a permanent non-movable connection with PEX. I can tell you what it's called. I haven't expanded the tubing, put it under stress in any way. I didn't take advantage of the properties of PEX that are strength and that memory, which a lot of other connection methods rely on. And there's no cinch clamp. There's no extra tool. This is